May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
To my help! And death to the others!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Things are about to get dicey!
Your magic is running out! Take a potion! Shadow engulf our enemies!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Be careful! Your armor is falling apart! May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
To my help! And death to the others!
Your armor is falling apart! May the enlightened protect me in this battle! Your magic is running out! Take a potion! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Energy. Drink a potion!
May the enlightened protect me in this battle! May the enlightened protect me in this battle! Your armor is falling apart! May the shadow engulf our enemies! protect me in this battle.
To my help! And death to the others!
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Your armor is falling apart.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
May the shadow engulf our enemies. Your magic is running out. Take a potion.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
I am wounded. May the enlightened come to my help. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Protect me in this battle.
To my help! And death to the others!
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Wounded. May the enlightened.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Protect me in this battle.
To my help! And death to the others!
May the shadow engulf our enemies. running out. Take a potion. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! You're running out of energy. Drink a potion! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
May the enlightened protect me in this battle.
To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Your magic is running out. Take a potion. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
You're running out of energy. Drink a potion. Move away. Things are about to get dicey.
Be careful. Your armor is falling apart. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Move away. Things are about to get dicey.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle.
To my help! And death to the others!
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
May the shadow engulf our enemies. Your magic is running out. Take a potion. May the shadow engulf our enemies. I am wounded. May the enlightened come to my help.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Move away!
protect me in this battle.
To my help! And death to the others!
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Hello there.
Bear ter to mud? Renaik say, the Donegat cannot honor you with a visit. Stay out of our way. We have no interest in speaking with a Moin Shaker.
Mind Shaker? That's what you call missionaries, and we aren't missionaries.
Never mind. The Donegad will not receive you.
All right. We'll leave.
Here we have a rather strange group. Do you come from the continent? Do you have any news to discuss? I wonder how things are going on the island. At San Mateos in particular.
the enlightened protect me in this battle.
To my help! And death to the enemies!
May the shadow engulf our enemies. Protect me in this battle!
To my help! And death to the others!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Your magic is running out! Take a potion!
To get dicey!
Careful, my child! You need healing!
To get dicey!
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
To my help! And death to the others!
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
And death to the others!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Things are about to get dicey!
Your armor is falling apart!
Things are about to get dicey!
Your magic is running out. Take a potion.
You are from the continent, are you not? You are different than the people from here.
Indeed. I am from the congregation of merchants. My name is Desardet. To whom do I have the privilege?
Sister Ephesia, envoy of Ptolemy, by the grace of the Illuminated. Enchanted, the Mother Cardinal has tasked me to investigate the activities of this village.
She also sent me here, to be your second.
What excellent news. You cannot imagine how much comfort that brings me. How might I help you?
How has your mission fared up until now, sister?
Not very well, I'm afraid. I haven't been able to get much from these villagers. Their chief and their priest are evasive when questioned. As for the other natives, their behavior can be quite odd. They'll spend hours just staring into the void. But as soon as I come close, they chase me away. They frighten me, I must admit. There is a heavy veil of evil here. I feel it, but I'm not able to find from whence it comes. Perhaps you should talk to them. They may speak to you. Anything else?
Have you been here for a long time?
Since the beginning of my investigation. A few weeks, perhaps, although it feels like months. I'm not particularly fond of the wild, and I find this place unsettling.
I see.
Anything else?
That will be all, Sister Ephesia. Thank you.
Traitor. An Anolmenawi does not wear the dress of the strangers.
Ber Tirtumad, on Olmenawi. I am Deirdre, daughter of Enora, daughter of Rowena, Mal of this clan. What do you seek?
Can you tell me something about your beliefs?
We believe that we are part of an everything, and that life depends on a balance that comes from this everything. Our strength is drawn from that which we protect, all that surrounds us. And that which surrounds us feeds and protects us in return.
What can you tell me about your rituals?
I have heard this question before. You sound like the Mind Shaker woman. The rituals are the business of the Donegada, not of the Renoigse. Anything more?
Concerning this story about a cult.
Enough. Enough questions. I have nothing more to say.
Good day. Are you the wise man of this village?
Burt tir dumad renaikse. I am the Donegad, yes.
I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
The people of your island are constantly asking questions, yet reject any answers that displease them. Questions have no value when one already claims to know the answers.
But
it is your case. You believe you know the answers. You seek only their echo. Answer your own questions. At least then the answers will please you, and we shall be done with your foolishness.
that is not what I...
Qua awelemseg. May your answers fill your day with bounty.
Can't you leave us alone?
Leave me be! Even your thoughts are loud and break my peace!
You have a strange stare, Renaikse. Leave me alone.
Renaikse ya toigen quachesa de elodeis. Samermila machde wegander.
Traitor. An Anolmenawi does not wear the dress of the strangers.
Birtir to Madre Naikse.
Good day.
Do you want something?
Could you answer a few questions?
Questions. It is a word that you adore. Let us play a game. If you answer my questions, I will answer yours.
If it's the only way to get answers, then let's play.
I am pleased. We will have fun. But beware, no lies. What name is given the place from where you come?
I come from Serene, a grand city on the continent of Gicane.
Really? It is possible that you come from there, but I believe that this is not your land. Your turn.
Tell me about the missionaries that came here.
The Mind Shakers came here to our home and tried to convince us to abandon our ways. No one wanted to listen to them, so they finally decided to leave. I suppose that they were full of disappointment, or angry, or simply tired. And then the others arrived. The woman is truly strange. She is aggressive and spies on us at every turn. I would prefer that she leaves as well. Let's try something else. Are you on Olmenawi with your land? Or did you inherit your link from your parents?
I'm not bound. Or at least I haven't done anything in particular to bind myself.
Then it was your parents. One of them at least must have been Donegad. Your turn.
This is a delicate question, but would you know anything about a demon?
A demon? I think that is what the bright and shiny mind shakers call the spirits, no? There are spirits everywhere. In you and in us, in each tree, in each spring. There is not only one. I cannot tell you more if you are not more precise in what you seek. It was fun. More than with the woman who makes light. She did not want to play.
Renaigse ya toigan quachesa de elodeis. Samermila, machde wegander.
Anything new?
No. The investigation has gone stale. The villagers won't even engage in conversation with me now. Perhaps you should talk to them. They may speak to you.
Do you want something? Enough questions.
You have a strange stare, Renaigse. Leave me alone.
Renaigse ya toigan quachesa de elodeis. Samermila, machde wegander.
Traitor. An Anolmenawi does not wear the dress of the strangers.
Can't you leave us alone, Monisanaig?
Leave me be. Even your thoughts are loud and break my peace.
Birtir to Mad, An Almanawi. What do you want?
You're different from the others. What is your role in the village?
Different? Why?
Well, for one, you answer me when I speak.
You others, when we don't answer you, you start digging for answers everywhere else. I am a gatherer. I hunt a little. I do my part for the life of the village.
What can you tell me about the beliefs of your village?
The beliefs of the village? That is a strange question for an Onol Manawi. Our beliefs are the same as those of the other clans. We believe in the earth that carries us and feeds on our dead, in the rain that quenches us and drowns us, in the beasts that feed us and in those that eat us. I do not know what more I can say to you. Everyone shares these beliefs.
This question will seem strange to you, but do you know anything about a demon?
A demon?
A dark spirit, if you prefer.
No. There is no such thing as dark spirits. Your question is not strange. Foolish, perhaps.
What can you tell me about your rituals?
Our rituals? Nothing. Nothing at all. They do not concern me. I am not a denegad. Even you. You should be able to tell that. Why you bother me with these questions? I am only a gatherer. Go and bother someone else.
Tell me about the missionaries that came here. Those who wear the symbol of the sun on their clothing.
When they came, they spoke about their bright and shiny god. They told us we were wrong. Said that nature was just nature, and not to be worshipped. These men know nothing. We ignored them. They finally left, and then the woman came to us. She sniffed around everywhere, asking many questions, just like you. I was told that she tried to enter my own home. I even saw her trying to follow me in the woods. She must be careful. It is easy to get lost in the woods, or cross paths with wild beasts.
I must leave now. Thank you for your help. Anything new?
No. The investigation has gone stale. The villagers won't even engage in conversation with me now. Perhaps you should talk to them. They may speak to you.
I managed to exchange a few words with some villagers, but I admit they don't seem keen to talk.
And did they tell you anything worth sharing?
I know little more about their beliefs. They worship nature and do not intend to change. It is certainly different from the luminous faith, but it's hardly demonic worship. Yet, there's something strange about this village. One of the villagers that spoke with me seemed truly worried. On edge, even.
I think I know of whom you speak. A man always looking over his shoulder. He often sneaks out of the village like a thief. I attempted to follow him, but he always eludes me. I tried to get into his hut to see if he was hiding anything, but someone was always there.
Then we should give it a try. Perhaps we'll fare better.
That fellow was really nervous. Perhaps we should try and search his house to see what he's hiding.
He doesn't look inclined to let us in. We'll have to distract him.
I'm sure this young lady could help us. She appears to be playful and to love pranks. Or we could just break some of these pots. That'd keep him busy.
I can pretend to be clumsy, but we'll have to work fast and it will only work once.
Go away, Renaigse. You are not welcome in my home. Go away, Renaigse. You are not welcome in my home. Go away, Renaigse. You are not welcome in my home. Lord Fradi, what has happened here? Pottery. These are broken.
This altar is incredibly morbid. I wonder what sort of spirit could be venerated in this way. This painting is frightening, evoking war, a massacre, a bloodbath under the likeness of a grimacing face.
I wouldn't like to cross paths in a dark alleyway with someone wearing a mask like this. I do not believe in all those demon stories, but all these horrors do make you think.
We should go tell Sister Ephesia about it. She will have some advice for us. Did you learn anything?
No. Nothing more. Were you able to get inside the nervous man's hut?
I was able to sneak into the hut of our mystery man.
And what did you discover?
Some troubling things. A ritual mask, a rather morbid altar, and a fresco depicting a massacre.
By the Enlightened. To think these unholy things were so near. Finally, the proof we need that there's a blood-worshipping cult here. They cannot perform their heinous pagan rituals in the village, and I'm certain that it's where our nervous friend sneaks off to. I failed to find where he goes, but you have already proven more competent than I.
I shall try. Hopefully he won't lead us into a trap.
Thank you for your help. And good luck.
We should wait until nightfall and follow him. Here we could hide and wait. We would be able to see where this sleepless boy goes during nightfall.
Wake up, Greenblood. He's here. Killers, and centuries of your you shall
my blade, and let's go!
Things are about to get dicey. Be careful, you're wounded.
Let's see if you can ward off this fate! Bit of poison on my blade, and let's go!
Be careful, you're wounded. Move away.
Poison on my blade, and let's go! Bit of poison on my blade, and let's go!
Move away. Things are about to get dicey. I need healing. Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Where could our man have gone?
These roots are blocking the way. Perhaps he went through there. Be careful. Is everything okay? You started wobbling all of a sudden.
I had a sort of flash vision. Just for an instant, I was a tree in a storm.
What exactly did you see? Perhaps these images will help us find an entrance into the sanctuary.
I was this tree, and my branches were shaken by a storm so strongly that they hurt terribly. The heavens caught fire several times, and I felt the lightning strike and pierce me through and through. A sinister warmth took hold of my entire body in an instant, and flames began to devour me. Life left me. All was calm, and I had a taste of cinder in my mouth. In spite of this, I continued to feel. And the rain began to fall on my roots, and at the very heart of my being, I felt the sap begin to flow again. A shoot appeared on my darkened roots. Then the vision dissipated. I have never experienced anything like it before. This stone is blackened, eaten away. I think it's supposed to evoke death. This stone has an image of the moon. On this stone, the sun is visible. Evidently, I shouldn't have lit this candle.
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this fate! Could you tell us again what you saw when you touched that tree?
I was this tree, and my branches were shaken by a storm so strongly that they hurt terribly. The heavens, this drawing looks like an infant. The drawing on this stone makes me think of fire. The drawing on this stone resembles a symbol that must... This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water. This stone bears the image of a storm, or perhaps the wind. Here this looks like a snowflake. The snow, or maybe ice. I must have lit the candles in the wrong order.
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
This stone bears the image of a storm. The drawing on this stone represents lightning. I must have lit the candles in the wrong order.
Bit of poison on my blade, and let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this feint! Move away! Things are about to get
I must have lit the candles in the wrong order.
a bit of poison on my blade, and let's go!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Let's see if you can ward off this feint!
I need healing!
You did it. It worked.
Close duis, atuda yam canadedole, tadulan vrandi, alaun eles agen ole vei. Closi garamam italami olflinau ich egrem. Closi gedem tayentis olarabeni a ol slai. Kvanqua sakengedem fradem adigalem. Linquid winterbo so galamsani. Tugombenis gremos nigawi. Renkasie krimaderem denegau edent. Clos duis, aruject nes diri.
Lois des Raman ades Gideon, Argenta. Esparnu Fradi, Damagengadan, Yadiga Ladandian. Esparnu Fradi, Dawi Gaishidon. Agesparnu Fradi, Dawi Gremosenagui.
I'm starting to think the priest was right. This ceremony sends shivers down my spine.
In any case, Teleme's story suddenly sounds way more plausible. The Denegad who performed the ritual was the villagers. We should go talk to Deirdre.
What do you seek?
We found your sanctuary and assisted in one of your blood rituals. Was the apparition we witnessed the demon the priests were talking about?
What is clear is these priests know nothing, and you know nothing.
I am not from Teleme. I cast no judgment upon your beliefs. But if you want us to help you, you need to help us understand.
I doubt that you would be able to understand, but very well. I'll attempt to help you make sense of what you witnessed. The ritual you saw is a ceremony to summon forth the strength of our warriors. Our people have always lived in harmony with nature. Our very existence revolves around her. She talks to us and takes on many faces. What you have witnessed is just one of many. Confronting the threat that the Renoiksi make up, we called them for their blessing, and they appeared to us.
Can we contact them? I mean, is communication possible?
What you witnessed was not a discussion. But if you visit a sanctuary, you may see one of the faces, and then you will be able to talk. Pass the mountains and head to the swamps. There, if you perform the ritual, you will see them come. Though what you will hear may not be to your liking.
How might I help you?
That will be all, Sister Ephesia. Thank you.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! If you want to cast more spells. I need healing. Be careful. You're wounded. Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! go! And let's go! Poison on my blade. And let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this fate. Take a potion if you want to cast more spells. Move away. Things are about to get dicey.
a strange party we have here. Who are you to come and disrupt our solitude?
Good day.
You? You are on Olmenawi and at the same time, Renaigse? So it is possible to bond yourself on your faraway island?
We are here because Teleme has asked us to carry out an investigation. They think that certain clans venerate a demon, an evil creature. We carried out our investigation of Vedlog on Chief Deirdre in an attempt to discover the truth. And the clues have led us to find our answers in this sanctuary.
Deirdre sends you to seek out a demon? Curious. A man from your island came already a long time ago. Full of questions he was as well. He had a small party of warriors with smoking tubes. And on their chests, a golden lion.
A lion?
An emblem that is fitting for the pride of the Bridge Alliance.
They set up a camp near here, and then they disappeared, all of a sudden.
Do you know where precisely?
It was a long time ago. I don't remember all that well. My memory has been leaving me of late. But it wasn't far from here. You will find it, I am certain. Ah! You are bringing back the memories. They were asking nearly the same questions you ask.
It represents a beast of the marshes, a red serpent. Fresco. It represents a beast of the marshes, a red serpent.
These remains, they must be the people the hermit was talking about, don't you think?
Probably. You can still discern the crest of the Alliance on this doublet. Let's search the area. There might still be something interesting. The image is fading. I can't see much of anything. fresco in various yellow hues. It represents a sort of insect.
What do you want, strange stranger?
I found this note. It speaks of a ritual, but it is incomplete. Do you know anything else about it?
A ritual? Yes, there is a ritual for the impatient. For me, it serves no purpose. I am here. I wait.
But for me, it would be useful. Can you help me?
There must have her reasons. The folly of youth. Do you see those drums over there? They awaken the earth, as long as you play them correctly.
They will awaken the earth.
Oh, and that's not all. Once the earth is awakened, the stone will appear that must be quenched.
Quench a stone?
But you're still here. What do you want again?
We found the camp you spoke of. Well, all that remains of it.
I told you. You were not the first Renaigse went by here.
Many died. What happened to them?
I warned them, I remember. They did not listen very well. Too bad. Their weapons were strange and powerful, but not enough so. The marsh is more powerful still.
That doesn't seem to bother you all that much.
Tiafradi gives, Tiafradi takes back. But you're still here. What do you want again?
How do you play the drums?
Oh, that's easy. The music is the first language of Tiafradi. It resonates with the earth. You need only respect the natural order for the earth to hear you. A predator, a prey, the cycle.
That's not really all that clear.
Come now, come now. You must first make the snake rattle, unless it is first to be the insect. Alas, time devours all memories. I do remember one thing, though.
I'm listening.
Each drum must only be played one time, and only once. But you're still here. What do you want again?
Quench a stone. What does that mean?
Water trickles on the stone and returns to us, empowered by its force. But sometimes, water is not enough.
This note I found explains a recipe. A potion thought to contain the essence of this place. That's what must be poured over the stone.
Oh, yes. No doubt. No doubt. But you're still here. What do you want again?
Nothing. I shall leave you alone. Something's appeared over there. It seems as if it's some type of altar. Looks like an altar. The stones! That must be where we need to pour the potion. I just need to get my hands on it. I just need to get my hands on it.
What do you want, strange stranger?
Quench a stone. What does that mean?
Water trickles on the stone and returns to us, empowered by its force. But sometimes, water is not enough.
This note I found explains a recipe. A potion thought to contain the essence of this place. That's what must be poured over the stone.
Oh, yes. No doubt. No doubt. But you're still here. What do you want again?
Nothing. I shall leave you alone. I just need to get my hands on it. I just need to get my hands on it. Fresco. It represents a beast of the marshes, a red serpent. The image is fading. We can't see much of anything. What is this?
Killed! You killed her! Monsters! Murderers!
Assassin of this creature.
May the earth swallow you whole!
We had no choice. This creature attacked us. Explain yourself rather than insulting us.
Ignorant foreigners! She was a Nadaig, a guardian, a Donaigad returned to nature!
I don't understand. Are you telling me that this creature was once a woman?
It was my woman! You and all those of your cursed island are fools and destroyers. But an all Milfrictimen will soon send you back over the water. He will destroy you as you destroy us. He has already begun.
Enon Mil... What? I have no idea what all this gibberish means, but it sounds to me like he's cursing us.
One mystery after another. What we take for a demon was a woman transformed into a beast. And now we have but a simple name. Enon Milfrictimen. This man, or this thing, seems to be after us. Perhaps it is behind all of this. We need to learn more.
Things are about to get dicey. Things are about to get dicey. Move away. Things are about to get dicey. Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Move away!
Over there. Tents. This must be the expedition's camp.
A camp here? In the open wind? It was definitely set up by scholars.
Signs of combat. They were attacked. By the look of the tents and the campfire, it dates back several days. It seems they were taken prisoner. I don't see any bodies. No weapon leaves this sort of marking. Perhaps they were wielding magic.
Yes. It is the art of the Donegada. One of the Valley clans was here.
Would you know which one?
One who fights against the invasion of the peoples from your island. I can be sure of nothing more.
Why would they attack scholars? They're not warriors.
They come here as conquerors. This is enough. But they were not killed. Warriors would have been.
This looks like scientific equipment. This must be the Lost Expedition's campsite. This looks like the journal of a naturalist. There are sketches of flora and fauna. There is no doubt. We are definitely on the trail of the Lost Expedition. It seems that one of the team kept a distance from the others. Let's see what we can discover. A trail of blood. That cannot be good. Follow it. More blood. We're on the right path. Keep going. A corpse. The clothes cannot be mistaken. It is a scholar of the Bridge Alliance. From the looks of him, I would say he's been dead for days, as we already thought. This isn't the woman whose journal we found. There is still a chance that she remains alive.
This man traded his life for all the suffering of my people.
It was only a scholar, a sage, not a warrior on the battlefield.
Do you think my people see a difference when bridgemen steal our people from their beds? From who do you think all the clans hide their children?
This man was unarmed. And from the position of his body, I would say he was fleeing. It is not honor that motivates them. Maybe it was vengeance.
I'll search the body. We might find something to help us understand. Here is the isolated camp mentioned in the journal. Everything is in order, but the inhabitants are no longer there. Its position would have allowed them to escape the attack.
Isolated. Discreet. Perfect visibility. Great choice.
It is a journal. That of a woman from the expedition, a certain Afra. She speaks of their research and relates here that she felt watched. She feared an attack was brewing. I believe she was right. The writing stops mid-sentence.
A woman with sharp eyes. They might have saved her life.
We must follow the tracks of the attack. They will certainly lead us to our party of intrepid scientists.
This woman was right to fear the Donea Exregao. They must have followed this path coming from the swamp. This is where we should go if we want to find these lion scholars.
Look, those are islanders. They might be from the clan that attacked the Bridger camp.
That's possible. They look like trackers.
Renaigse!
We won't let you take us. We will not kneel down without a fight.
Wait! We have no desire to fight you. We only want to find the Lion Sages. They are not warriors, but their chief is ready to send an army of warriors to liberate them. If you help us bring them back, you will save your tribe from a costly battle in lives.
He speaks truly. Look, one of them is already eager to bring Lion warriors back to us.
All we wanted was for them to tell us where our brothers are being kept.
What good is this if we must leave our camp behind? Very well. Stay away from the main entrance. Our guards will not welcome your arrival.
Pass around. There is a smaller entrance hidden there. The lions are kept in a home in ruins.
There must be a key somewhere to open the door, but I know not where it is kept.
I'm not here to kill you.
Tell me then, what is your intended purpose?
We were sent to look for you.
Apologies, but allow me to express my doubts.
Well, after this little swim, you could always try to pull the trigger.
Who sent you to find me?
Well, we were not looking for you in particular, but the entire expedition. It was Governor Burham who asked us to find you. He's worried about you. You haven't been reporting.
You should have said that straight away. I must admit, I was hoping for a rescue. Of a different nature. Do you have a name?
Desade. I'm from the congregation.
The new governor's cousin. Who wears an islander face. I've heard stories about you. And then?
I am Siora, daughter of Bladnid. From the people that your own capture and torture.
I've never taken anyone. On the contrary, we had hoped to exchange our knowledge with your own.
Kurt. Simply Kurt. I protect our excellency's back. And if one of your violent fits overcomes you, rescue party or not, I will kill you.
This is a rather odd group. I am Afra, a scholar from the Bridge Alliance. It is rather rare to find me rolling in the marshes. I study the fauna and flora of this isle. I should imagine you have many questions.
Have you made progress in your search for a cure?
We were studying some quite remarkable plants when we were attacked. The region is rife in unknown and novel species. Some seem incredibly promising. The local shamans know all these plants and they use them in their remedies. If only we had been able to converse with them rather than getting ourselves captured.
What has happened since the attack? How long have you been in these marshes?
We were taken prisoner and were brought to a village nearby. I was able to escape while the others were taken to a house that they use as a prison. I wanted to join the Bridge Alliance frontier post not far from here, but I wasn't able. So I doubled back to keep watch of the village from a distance. I have been hoping to find a way to free my companions, without any success so far.
We saw the site where you were attacked. What exactly happened?
We were taken by surprise. One moment everything was calm, and the next a war party of natives fell upon us. I had an uneasy feeling and kept myself apart, but when I heard my fellow scholars shout, I rushed over. Most of my companions are incapable of defending themselves, and we didn't have guards to protect us. One of them tried to flee, but they brought him down. We decided to give ourselves up to avoid a massacre.
Could you lead us to the village where your colleagues are being held prisoner?
Certainly. We are, oh, so very close. And I fully intend to participate in this rescue. I'm not one to sit around and twiddle thumbs.
This is where the natives took your colleagues?
Yes, it is here. These ruins are being used as a camp by the native raiders.
There are so many of them. Better to remain discreet.
I have spied on the camp and discovered where my colleagues are being held. They are being kept in the old walls of the main ruin.
Greenblood, my friend. My contacts have spoken. I was able to discover the location of this infamous Phantom training camp.
Do you still think they should be held accountable?
More than ever. You know that I recruited Rayner. I want to know what kind of hornet's nest I led him into. I want to know what these madmen did. But I fear if I go alone, I might not be able to control myself. And I won't learn anything. I need the help of my best student.
How can I refuse such a request? Well then, let's go.
I would rather avoid unwarranted deaths. We should wait until nightfall and look around the camp to find a more discreet way to get inside. I fled as they were about to lock my companions inside a cell. We're going to need a key.
Please, Honor Manawi. Let's try to avoid a fight.
to my help! And death to the others!
Watch out! Grenade!
Move away! Things are about...
Locked.
Afra, is that you?
Come quickly. We don't have much time. Thank you for your help.
Do not thank me yet. We are still in a shipload of danger.
Now, we must find a way to get out of this valley without putting my companions in danger.
Trokarid, mercy, you have defeated us. Spare us our lives.
If you spare them, they will only hunt us down until we are all dead.
No, you have our word. We have been bested. We will let you move on in peace.
How can we trust you? You attacked our camp when we were not even armed.
They are savages. They had us caged like beasts.
We only sought to learn where you have caged our people.
Spare their lives. I beg you. They were only fighting to save the lives of those that have disappeared.
Very well. Leave. And I hope you keep your word.
Thank you, Onol Manawi. I have spoken, and I will honor my words, Kwa awalam seg.
We are no longer in danger. Thank you for your help, Desade.
I must admit, the reasons for my being here are not entirely selfless. Your research to find a remedy against the Malachor could save many lives in our cities as well.
You speak like a true man of science. Cut to the point. Then you'll be thrilled. Your heroic efforts to save us from those savages could help. We've made a discovery.
Is that right? In that case, we need to speak with Governor Burham immediately.
Very well. I'll accompany you.
Let's be off.
Sir Desade, and our expedition. I thank you sincerely for having brought them back, Excellence. You are a providential man.
Please, sir. It was you who convinced me and my cousin of the capital importance of their research.
Research that has borne fruit, Your Excellency.
Truly? This is excellent news. You have found a plant with sufficient properties?
Not exactly. Know that during our captivity, an island woman visited the camp. The natives called her Tiena Hac Cadactus and treated her with utmost reverence. I heard them talk about a remedy, a universal remedy it seemed, that she had concocted.
How's that? Liamat radidnais yachtem?
Huh. Well, I grasp the basic of the local tongue, and I am certain to have heard the word yag. Remedy.
Surprising. But the Terna Hach is very powerful and very wise. It is possible that she did craft such a remedy.
Desade, I'd like to discuss something with you.
I'm listening.
My colleagues are only interested in the physiology of the islanders and consider everything else to be superstitions. However, if we want to understand how they are transforming, we need to take a look at their culture. The potions they drink, the dyes they use are surely the source of their physical changes.
Why not talk about it with Siora? It seems to me that she would be the best one to help you.
Siora is very suspicious of me. She will never betray the secrets of the Doneigada. But I was told about a place of ritual called Kurganau, decorated with carvings and offerings. By studying them, I hope to better understand what is possibly the greatest mystery of this century. But you are already very busy. We'll talk about it another time. Anything else?
I must leave you.
closer. Come closer. All my wares are in the vanguard of progress.
Your Excellency, it's always a pleasure. Is there anything you would like?
Thanks for your visit.
Your Excellency, it's all...
Thanks for your visit.
At the fiery flasks, you'll find the... Greetings. I immediately spotted that you are a real science enthusiast. I have all the potions you could ever dream of. And other things, too. We also sell ingredients, and we even craft on demand. So, what would you like? I was honored by your visit. Greetings. What can I serve, my... I was honored by your visit. Please, come back whenever you want.
Halt! No one enters!
And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! You're running out of energy! Drink a potion!
I was informed of your arrival by my sentinels, but I didn't think it would be you, Kurt.
Rolf! You're the leader of this camp.
Do you two know each other?
We train together. We haven't seen each other in a long time. A very long time.
The world of warriors is very small, Kurt. What brings you here, my old comrade? And who are these people with you? They're not one of us?
My name is de Sade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
Afra. I'm a naturalist. I study flora to determine its medicinal properties.
These people sure are important. So, what are you doing here?
I've heard things about this place. About this very special camp.
And we wanted to see what it was all about with our own eyes.
That's very nice of you, but visitors aren't welcome in this camp. What goes on here is only the guards' business.
Does the same apply to me?
Listen, Kurt. I can give you and your friends some answers, but only because it's you. Anyway, knowing you as well as I do, I'm aware I'm not going to get rid of you that easily. So, what would you like to know?
Will you tell us about your training?
That's a sensitive topic. Most exercises take place in the field to get the men used to it. The natives' knowledge of the environment gives them as much of an advantage as their magic. But if you want to know more, you should ask my lieutenant instructors.
This is a huge camp for such a secret location. How is it organized?
The main building is reserved for officers and the wounded. The front and rear of the camp are dedicated to combat training. But most exercises take place outside.
Impressive. And how do you manage recruitment?
Only the best come here. Those who have combat experience. Once they arrive, they're separated into 2 squadrons, each led and trained by a lieutenant. But you already know all of this, Kurt. It must bring back memories.
Yes.
What is it you do here? And why is this place kept secret? Even from your comrades in the guard?
The natives have their magic, and we have to train elites to be able to face them. That's what we're doing here. Our role is sensitive, and our location obviously cannot be revealed to the whole island.
I see the reason for this kind of training. The Bridge Alliance would be particularly interested in soldiers like these. And yet I'd never heard of this elite squadron.
We're still in the early stages of the program. We don't want to rush things. And our leaders demand secrecy. Orders are orders.
Actually, we found out about this camp while we were looking for someone.
A kid I recruited. Rainer.
Oh. I didn't know he was one of yours. My condolences. I was told he died in an accident in the harbor.
Don't insult my intelligence, Rolf.
All right. Since you're here, I guess there's no point in lying to you anymore. The accident occurred during a maneuver. It's regrettable that these things happen, you know?
We've taken up enough of your time, Captain.
I agree, and I have things to do.
I'd like to question your lieutenant instructors, if you don't mind. To ask them about Rainer.
You've become a real sap. Fine. But try not to disrupt the day's schedule too much. Goodbye.
I'm sorry. I couldn't contain my anger.
I noticed. Good thing you know this captain so well. I don't think he would have let us investigate otherwise.
Lieutenant.
Captain.
My friend here would like to learn more about this camp.
At your orders, Captain. Sir?
Can you tell us about your squadron?
The recruits who come here are the best. And in my squadron, they get even better. I don't know what else to tell you. They're disciplined, rigorous, and effective. Exactly what you'd expect from the best soldiers.
What kind of training takes place in your ranks?
Combat in natural settings. Combat against the savages' magic.
I'm very curious about how you train against the magic the natives use.
Now, these are complex, secret maneuvers. I'm very sorry, but I can't tell you any more.
That's a pity. It would definitely be instructive.
I heard the recruit Rainer trained here. What can you tell me about him?
Oh, he was a good one. He died a little while ago.
So we've heard. Your captain told us he died during a maneuver. Can you tell us more?
The training we do outside can be dangerous. Unfortunately, Rainer fell to his death in a ravine.
He fell?
During a simulated ambush. I know, it's not glorious, but it happens. I'd like to get back to work now, if you'll allow it, Captain.
Go on. We're gonna go talk to some of your recruits.
I hope that it won't take too long. We're all very busy here.
We'll be quick, Lieutenant.
The story about training against magic is a lie. This lieutenant has no idea what he's talking about.
So what could they be training recruits for here, then?
I don't know. Soldier!
Yes, Captain.
At ease. We have some questions for you.
Me? At your orders, Captain.
You look exhausted. Is training that rough here?
It's difficult at first, but you get through it. Taming fatigue. That's the key to it all.
Haven't you ever wanted to stop? You've never doubted your vocation.
I'm not a coward, nor a weakling. The strength of the Shadow.
What is that? Your motto?
Our squadron's, Captain.
You seem concerned about your comrades. You keep looking at them.
No, not at all.
Are you afraid of what they might think of you?
Absolutely not, Captain. We are all of one mind in this squadron. We are very united.
Since this is such a close-knit squadron, you must have known Rainer.
Yes, of course. But he's not part of the squadron any longer. He left.
Really?
I don't know what you're trying to get me to say, Captain. Rainer left the squadron because he was sent on a mission. There's nothing more to say.
Sorry, mate, but that's not what happened.
I don't know anything more.
Thank you. That will be all.
Thank you, sire. Captain?
Good heavens. I feel like a bogeyman.
These recruits are clearly scared to let any information slip.
It's as if their life depended on it. Lieutenant!
Respectfully, Captain.
Here is my friend, the legate of the merchant congregation. He would like to ask you a few questions.
At your orders. I'm listening, sires.
How do the various squadrons in this camp differ from one another?
The recruits I train are intended to carry out more subtle actions.
Really? What kind?
I teach them how to blend into the background, understand customs, observe, and know when to strike.
That's strange. These skills are normally associated with assassins, rather than soldiers.
These skills are always useful, regardless of the enemy or the setting.
What kind of training do your men undergo?
I can't go into details, but they learn discipline, and to outdo themselves.
You mean to blindly follow orders? Even to their death?
But No, Captain. We also teach them to analyze situations, so that they know when to act to avoid risking their lives.
How did you become an instructor in this camp?
I have led numerous squadrons before, and I've trained hundreds of recruits on the continent. I worked with Captain Rolf in the past, and when I arrived on the island, he recommended me for this position.
That's very impressive. And I expect that you're familiar with the natives' environment and magic.
Yes, of course.
Kurt, don't you think that someone this talented fits what we're looking for? You see, we need to find someone who can replace Kurt to oversee my cousin's security.
Your cousin is the governor of New Serene, I've heard. It's a prestigious position. I don't doubt my abilities, but an offer like this, made so suddenly, must have a price.
We can't hide anything from you.
We're trying to find out what happened to Raynor, a recruit who trained here.
That name doesn't sound familiar. He must have been in the Shadow Squadron.
The other lieutenant's squadron?
Yes. I'm sorry. Haven't been much use to you. Did something happen to him?
He died. His body was thrown into the harbor to make it look like he drowned.
I guess it was one of your recruits. My condolences, Captain.
We'll question some of your soldiers.
At your orders, but please be quick. I'd like to get on with training.
Hello, soldier.
Captain? We need information. Your instructor authorized us to question you.
Of course, sire. I'm listening.
How would you describe your training? Do you train outside the camp much?
Yes, we do. Well, not exclusively.
Really? Yet we've been told that your unit specialized in actions over difficult terrain.
Yes, I think so. Well, yes, that's true.
Problems remembering things, soldier?
No, Captain.
What's it like in your squadron?
Very good. The Phantom Squadron is made up only of the very best.
Do you trust your comrades?
We're like 5 fingers on one hand, sire. I would trust them with my life.
You've sure got the military spirit.
Yes, Captain.
We've learned that a recruit died in an accident during a maneuver. Does this happen often?
No, of course not. Only to those who aren't strong enough.
That's strange. I was told that this recruit was very talented.
I don't know what to tell you. It's possible. If you don't mind, I'd like to get back to my training.
He seems afraid that an accident might befall him too.
No, it's not that. I just don't want to fall behind schedule.
Very well. Go on.
Excellence. Captain.
These kids are scared to death.
Yes. This boy's answers about his training seem pretty dubious to me.
You can't hide the lies. Soldier!
Captain!
At ease, soldier.
We'd like to learn more about your training.
I have nothing to say about it, sir.
Really? Go on, it's not a difficult question. What do you do during training?
Is this a test, Captain?
No, it's not a test. You may speak freely.
Well, training is difficult, but we can't complain, Captain.
That's an interesting way to phrase it. You're very united in this squadron. At least, that's what I've been told.
United? You could say that, yes. Until death.
That's rather sinister. Does the name Raynor sound familiar to you?
Yeah. Well, no, not really.
You seem rather hesitant. Afraid of being reprimanded by your lieutenant?
No. Well, not at all. It's just that I can't tell you anything about Recruit Raynor. And we're lucky to have the lieutenant as our instructor, Captain.
We should leave this soldier to his work.
Your name, soldier?
Wilhelm. First-class recruit Wilhelm, Spectre Squadron.
Keep it up, Wilhelm.
Lieutenants, report.
Captain?
Could you give us a few minutes and take us around the site? I've never been here before, and I'm curious to see what goes on.
I'm not sure if we can, Captain.
We are on duty, Captain.
Right, Lieutenant. Let's go! Are you coming with us?
No, thank you. I'd rather stay here. Take in some fresh air.
As you like. In that case, see you later.
Wilhelm, we need to talk. And don't worry. Kurt will make sure your superior doesn't come this way.
Why are you doing this?
We didn't think you'd say anything as long as she was here.
If you noticed, others will have too. They'll make me pay.
Even more reason to talk. If we have proof, we can take action and close this camp. Very well. What would you like to know? What's really going on here? We know that Raynor didn't die in an accident.
This is supposed to be a training camp for the Guard's elite. Only the most talented recruits are allowed to join. This is an immense honor, an extraordinary chance. That's what we're told every day. But in reality, it's just hell.
Tell me about the training you undergo here.
It's more torture than anything else. We're constantly beaten and humiliated, and the slightest complaint only leads to more blows. They even push us to police one another, so we don't dare talk. Whatever the orders, we put our heads down, grit our teeth, and obey.
I've known scientists who've led these kind of experiments on animals. The results are terrifying. Even the most gentle animal can become a killer.
I heard them tell you about the specialist training against the natives in hostile environments. But what they teach us would be more useful for assassins.
As for Raynor, do you know what happened to him?
Yes. One day he just couldn't stand it any longer. He disobeyed orders, he fought back, and people got hurt. That's when things blew up. They summoned him for night training.
What does that entail?
It doesn't have much to do with real training. They call us up for it at the last minute. The weakest serve as punching bags for the others, who are encouraged to beat them. If we refuse, we too become the targets. So we join in and strike. If you're looking to punish Raynor's murderer, you can start with me. We all have his blood on our hands.
Thank you for telling us all of this. You should get back to your comrades.
I hope you can do something. Have this camp closed. Otherwise, I'll soon be as dead as Raynor.
We understand the risk you've taken. We won't let you down.
Thank you. Really. That was truly fascinating.
Captain?
I've seen everything I needed to see. You can leave us.
Yes, Captain.
Shall we go?
Kurt, Willem has spoken.
What did he tell you?
He said the recruits go through hell. They're humiliated, spy on each other, get bullied. It's essentially torture. Raynor wouldn't stand for these methods. He rebelled and was summoned for night training.
Are you sure he used that term?
Yes. But he told me it's not really training. The recruits are summoned.
And the others beat them. Sometimes to death. I know.
You knew about this kind of training?
Yeah. I thought it was a thing of the past. What a monster. How dare he?
I'm so sorry. I'm lost for words. Tell me, did you learn anything new?
I scouted out the site. There's 2 parts of the barracks we should look at more closely. Rolf's quarters and the basement, which they refused to open for me.
This is an elite military camp. I hope you've really thought your plan through.
Let's wait for nightfall. We'll sneak into the camp unseen, search the barracks, the private quarters, and then the basement.
We might also try to find out where this night training takes place.
Yes. I wouldn't want other young recruits to lose their lives tonight. Especially Wilhelm. Let's find Rolf's office. He surely has the key to the basement.
This letter is disturbing, Kurt. It confirms that several deaths have been disguised in order to keep this camp secret. But it says that the recruits trained here have been assigned to governors from different cities. And yet I'm sure that Constantine knows nothing about these elite units. The conclusion of the letter also confirms that the commander is pleased with what's been going on here.
So Torsten knew?
So it seems. Including about the deaths.
He's gone too far. He dishonors us all. Sieglinder was right.
This room. What could have happened in here?
I know this smell only too well. Fear, blood, death.
People were tortured here.
This document explains a lot. They torture the soldiers to break them. Raynor shows up on this list more than once. He gave them a lot of problems.
Those who resist too much are lynched during night training. Rolf, you'll pay for this.
Kurt, Wilhelm's name was added to tonight's training.
They want to make him pay for talking to us. He won't survive it.
I refuse to let these recruits pay for the bastards who manipulate them. Let's avoid spilling blood in vain.
If we had the time, we could find a way to put them all to sleep, but we haven't.
They're just kids. There has to be a way to reason with them.
We'll do what we can, Kurt. I can't promise anything more. It's blocked. It's blocked.
To my help! And death to the others! You're running out of energy. Drink a potion.
It's blocked.
Kurt, you're so predictable.
I knew you were a bastard, but I didn't think you'd be part of this disgrace.
Have fun, soldiers! The traitors must die!
Stop! Soldiers, are you really going to obey these scoundrels? Do I need to remind you of the Guard's motto? Where is your honor?
I won't repeat myself, recruits. Execute these traitors!
Soldiers, listen to your captain. You are the victims of these monsters, and we are here to save you. We surrendered without resistance, to avoid a fight, and to spare your lives.
Well, what do you want us to do? We have orders, and we know what will happen to us if we don't obey.
Enough! To arms! Attack!
Must I remind you what happened to Raynor?
And however many others perished to fuel the ambitions of this camp's leader.
Is this what you were promised when you were recruited?
No. No. Honor and glory. We've strayed far from all that. Let's surrender. Anything is better than dying here like dogs.
How dare you! You know what awaits you.
Shut up, you idiots. You're no longer in a position to threaten anyone.
You're finally here.
Sorry, Captain. The boy resisted longer than planned.
You were spared the shame of seeing how far your comrades have fallen.
What happened?
They surrendered. Like the weaklings they are.
That should make the next night training sessions interesting.
What have you done with Wilhelm?
He received the punishment for traitors and insurgents, like Raynor before him.
Kurt, I'm terribly sorry. We should have...
saved him first. We're responsible for his death.
Don't be absurd. It's those who beat him who are responsible, and well you know it.
You're right. For Wilhelm! For Raynor!
Recruits! Attack!
To my help! To the others!
Watch out! Grenade!
Move away! Things are about to get...
Will you be all right, Kurt?
Yes. Yes. I'll be fine. I'm just glad to know that this camp won't kill anyone else. You! Take care of the camp's survivors until you receive your transfer orders.
It will be an honor, Captain.
You'll stay here for now. I'll send men I trust to come get you soon.
What do you want us to do?
I'll need backup if I really want to put an end to all of this. We must go see Major Sieglinder in New Serene. I need to tell her what was going on here.
Are you sure she wasn't involved?
Her? Never. She's old school. She already held the commander at a distance because she didn't like the direction the Guard was headed. He would have sacked her, or worse, if she didn't have so much support within the Guard. I should have listened to her.
There's no use brooding over the past. Let's go. We'll go and see her immediately.
Sieglinde, I need to talk to you.
What's the matter, Kurt?
We've just returned from a training camp. A secret camp, where elite soldiers are trained through terror, humiliation, and torture.
Don't tell me that.
Yes. One of my recruits died, and he wasn't the only one. It is designed to create a regiment of assassins.
I am sorry, Kurt. I knew something was wrong, but I never would have thought it'd go that far.
We put an end to it all. We had to. But Torsten allowed it, even encouraged it.
I told you that the Commander's ambition would end up leading us astray from the ideals of the Guard, and that we would pay the price for it.
Yes. At the time, I told you you were exaggerating. That he had his reasons.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to speak out, Sieglinde. And reveal the Commander's project to the Governor of the congregation.
If I were as close to him and his family as you are, I would have done so a long time ago.
I know. I feel so stupid for not having understood Torsten's scheme until now.
You've always been a loyal person, Kurt. And too many loyalties are sometimes hard to reconcile. But Torsten betrayed us all. I'm counting on you to make him pay for it.
Believe me, he won't get away with it. Goodbye, Sieglinde.
Goodbye, Kurt. My men and I stand with you.